Okay. I just finished the one message, and this is the second one. I'm redoing it because I wanted to excerpt some stuff from what I said in this other video I'm not releasing. But I wanted to talk about, don't get caught up in these jobs with employee of the month or certain promotions that you feel that you didn't get and holding animosity over it. Don't get caught up in that. You may be looking for other stuff outside of the job to be blessed with. And you harping on you're not employee of the month, you don't get the promotion that you thought you wanted, will hinder that. That's God's test for, could be God's test for you to see how you handle that. Don't get caught up in that. You go to work, you do the best job you can do. If you get recognized, great. If you don't worry about that. You still working for God. And God's going to promote you in other areas of your life because you passed the test and you had a good attitude and worked through. So don't get caught up in that. You could be looking for a better job. And to get to that better job, you still got to be good on this job. You could be looking for a blessing in another area, and it'll be hindered if you're worried about talking about, I get this promotion, I get employee of the month, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about that. Some of that stuff is politics anyway, let me tell you. So yeah, I had to tell somebody that recently, and because they looking for other blessings, and I'm like, your paycheck is your employee of the month. To your family, it's take your picture and put it on the refrigerator. And then as far as promotion wise, if you want to, look for another job. But you still got to be good at that job. I know I was working at a meat market, and I wanted to look for another job. And I started looking for another job because I understood he was a family-owned business. It was only so many raises he can give. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, but I still had a good attitude. And everything was falling through. But eventually, and I still did my work. I still went to work, did my work good because I liked them. It was a Jewish family meat market. I loved them. And everything they supported me with, you know, they were very supportive to me. And eventually I did get that next job. And I'm telling you the same thing. You know, you might have several things fall through, but God could be testing you. Are you gonna keep a good attitude? Are you gonna keep a good attitude? That was your test. You looking for this over here? You're not passing the test, and God didn't gave you a chance to pass the test. He didn't gave you a couple of makeup tests. Don't get caught up in that stuff. You go to work, do the best you can, and you come on home. If you, like I said, if you get recognized, good. If you don't, you still did the best job you could do. And let me tell you this: God is infinite. You know what that means? Infinite. That means you see those videos on YouTube when they walk up and give people money. That's infinite. That's an infinite blessing. God being infinite, he can open up the sky and start pouring down money. That's infinite. You write the definition of infinite down and put it on your wall or something. You'll start getting excited. Infinite. Oh, God is infinite. The creator of the universe is infinite. He can do anything. When I say anything, he can do anything. Start getting excited over infinite. You're gonna like that. Once you think of all the combinations how he can bless you, just let your mind go wild on how many ways the creator of the universe can bless you. You get real excited. Oh, infinite. Just keep saying, you say it under your breath, infinite. Oh, I could shout over that word right now, infinite. Keep saying it to yourself, infinite. God is infinite. Creator of the universe is infinite. He can make anything happen, anything. Start thinking about all them combinations. Be really excited. Don't be caught up in that other mess. It's a downward spiral. Yeah. Infinite. God is infinite. And just by you doing your best, he gonna work things out for you. But you gotta keep that right attitude because he could be testing you. You gotta remember that. Now you don't play man games because sometimes God done tested you already. And then man will come along and try to play God and test you. Gotta have to take care of them. You just stay focused. You just stay focused. Stay focused. And sometimes that get tough. You know, you got a lot of things going on around you. People just trying to cause drama for you. It's kind of hard to stay focused, but you know, they got songs out. And if you're a believer, they already tell you. So they talked about Jesus. They're gonna talk about you. And you don't have to defend everything. You get tired. Because some people they want to believe the lie. They want to believe the lie. Yeah. So how can you go up against what somebody believing about you that's not true? I always say it's the person who believing a lie. It's on the person who lying, because it's somewhere in the Bible says, the tempted they gonna be punished, but the tempter is gonna be punished worser because they did the tempting. That's the lie. So they will be punished worser than the person they told the lie to. But everybody has a personal responsibility. You know? Don't be believing everything somebody tells you. Like I said, you question. You question them. Somebody come up to you telling you about somebody. You look at them like they crazy. Or divert the conversation. Or you can ask them, well, why you think that? Why you saying that? Some people good at lying. That's all they know how to do is lie. I met them. All they know how to do is lie. That's all they do, lie, lie, lie. They're good at it too. But when you don't know what to believe, keep your mouth shut. And you pray to God that the truth be revealed. Yeah. Like when I was younger, I took a ride from a stranger. I don't recommend that. But he was a good stranger. He was about my age at the time, in his 20s. And I was looking for another job because my mama said I needed a real job. And a real job was a job with benefits to her. And so I was praying for, was praying for a new job. One day I was at the bus stop, and a young man, he was like, "Would you like a ride? I know where you work at. You work right down here at Arbor Drugs." I was like, "No, I don't want no ride." I said, "No, thank you." He's like, "Come on, Ganina." He's like, "I'm not," he was like, "I know where you work at. You're right down there at Arbor Drugs." Eventually, I said, after I asked him, I said, "You a murderer?" He's like, "No, I ain't no murderer." Like a murderer would tell you if they was a murderer or not, right? So I got in, but I stayed close to the door. And he asked me, did I like working at Arbor Drugs, as he was taking me to work. And I was like, yeah, but my mom was like, I need a real job. And he was like, what you mean a real job? And I said, she want me to have a job with benefits. And he was like, well, my cousin worked right here at this meat market. And they have benefits. They have Blue Cross. And boy, I didn't know much about insurance, but I knew Blue Cross was the best because I was getting kicked off of my granddad's, and he had Blue Cross, so it was good. So he was like, I sent my cousin to talk to you. So he sent his cousin to talk to me. And she told me to come the next day. And they asked me, did I want to ride home? I said, no. I ain't used to all that friendliness. I knew better. I was always taught anyway. Like, no. I mean, we always hope people are friendly. And around that time in my area, we believed our people. We was heavy in our religion at that time. The Catholics and the Christian. Catholics are Christian, but I'm more on the Protestant side. So, but we was all into and I knew a Latter-day Saint. So it was the Latter-day Saint, Catholics, and Protestants, Christian. And we was really heavy into our faith. We was really heavy into our faith, and we wanted to do good deeds. Not just for our family members, but we was taught to do good deeds for others as well. But I told him, no, I didn't want to, because he even asked me after he dropped me off. He was like, you need a ride home? I was like, no, I don't need a ride home, thank you. And when his cousin finished talking to me, she asked me, do you need a ride home? No, I don't need a ride home, thank you very much. Now, that was a good case. And I talk about that because I won't be taking rides home from any meals again. You gotta excuse me, my car don't have air conditioner. It's kind of hot. But yeah, I took a manager. I had another incident, but I'm gonna talk about this incident. I called my manager and said my car broke down as I was driving. If you have somebody there that can come pick me up, because I called a taxi, they act like they can't find me. And I said, I'm gonna be late, if you don't mind me being late. But they said they'd come get me. I should have said, no, I need a female to come get me, because there's a lot of talk, it'd be a lot of talking. A lot of talk. I heard he asked him, did you want me to sit in the back seat? I could sit in the back seat. No, you can sit in the front seat. But I've never had a problem before, because everybody look at me like I'm their little dog, like I'm their sister. And then, and people know me. I don't do nothing. I go home, but I ain't. At that last incident, I ain't taking another ride from another meal ever, unless it's an Uber or Lyft driver. Like I said, I'm in the back seat, and they taking me to my destination. I understand. I understand why there's certain rules in place to protect women. I won't be taking a ride from another meal again, unless it's my relative, my brother, or like I said, Uber or Lyft. And that's word to the wise. Y'all do the same. Any female out there, do the same. Don't be doing that. Brother so-and-so offer you a ride. No. If they worried about you, then they'll follow you as you walk. Then they don't have to follow me while I walk. You could be my protector. You can follow me as I walk to where I'm going. Because I ain't doing that no more. Be a lot of talk, a lot of talk, a lot of talk, a lot of talk. Next time I just call off. Yeah, I call off or be late. I'll be taking rides. So I only had one incident, one incident to where it wasn't correct. But that one incident was enough for me. I ain't taking no ride. And like I said, I don't never recommend you taking a ride from a stranger. But in that case, everything worked out. Like once I got that job at the meat market, he ain't never come around me, and I work with his cousin. She ain't never mentioned him again. I think that was God, because like I said, I prayed. I was like, God, my mama want me to find a real job. She concerned. Because I had a lot of, I had to go to the doctor a lot, and so yeah, she was like, you need some insurance. So, and I had stopped going to college. I had stopped going to community college, and I was decided just to work. So, because I didn't have any direction. They really didn't want me to go, but I was being defiant. Why you don't want me to go? That's that stubbornness. And so I went, but I really didn't have any direction. I didn't know what I wanted to do because I didn't have direction. So that's important. If you already have direction, then you got to aim or whatever like that. But I didn't know. It was all foreign to me. I was never directed to go to college, But my mind, I still flourished my mind. Do not go to college and not pick up a book, open up that mind. You start reading stuff that's going to educate you on your own. Because when people want to keep you down at a certain level, they don't want you educated because you're not going to think for yourself. So it's for a reason. That's what I'm saying. So you're going to need to nourish your mind, and you're going to have to constantly nourish your mind. If you're curious about something, pick up a book, or now you can Google it. Do your own book report on it. Write it out. Then you're going to come up with another question you want to find out about, and another question you want to find out about. Oh, I wonder, is this true? I wonder, is that true? And you study your interests as far as that. But always keep that mind thinking, because Albert Einstein, he doesn't credit his education with what he became noted for. He accredited his thinking, his imagination with his success. And he said the education just taught him how to think. It kept the thinking muscle flowing. Read up on Albert Einstein. I think you'll find it very interesting. And he had a lot of education, but he don't accredit education to his success. He accredit it working the mind. He accredit the imagination, the thinking, to his success. And that's a lot. When I read that, I was like, wow, that's interesting. So even if you don't go to college, you can have your own college with yourself. You can go all across the world and still be right where you are, because your mind took you there. I've been right here in Southwest Detroit, but it feel like my mind been all across the world. And I've gotten all the excitement It's all in the mind. Read the book Think and Grow Rich. They have a black version also. His name is Dennis something. I forgot it, but it'll come up, and they have all the black people who accomplished and overcame in that book, and they talk about hustling in a good way, burn the midnight oil, and maybe his name is Dennis Kimbro. I read that one twice, and I read the original Napoleon Hill once, but I read because I was, you know, I consider myself African American, and so I can more relate and to the black version. But if you put in Think and Grow Rich, the black version will come up too, by Dennis Kimbro. I'm like 95% sure that's his name. And Stedman had a good book out. Yeah, Oprah Stedman. I read his book and I was quite surprised. I liked his book. I forgot the name. I forgot the name of it. I don't think his was Bootstraps. Something else. Boy, yeah, they talk about pull yourself up by your bootstraps. What if you only got a sock and it got holes in it? Your bootstrap, it was missing. But God will give you keep going. God gonna give you the boot. He gonna heal up them socks. He gonna give you the boot. You keep going, he gonna give you that other boot. He gonna give you that other sock. And then he gonna give you some gold bootstraps. You can't take them off. They got them. He gonna put them securely on. Think about that. Imagine. Open up your imagination. Yeah. And then think a different way. Like I said, God may bless you somewhere else, but you're doing the best at the job you at. He might bless you somewhere else, but he want to see if you pass the test. And then if you pass the test, and then a man come along and try to test you again, no, he gonna take care of them. He gonna take care of them. Trust you me, he gonna take care of them. God gave you confidence. Is somebody gonna try to take your confidence away from you? When God was working on you since birth to give you confidence. Confidence is a good thing. It ain't arrogant. Confidence is not arrogance. And if you don't know the difference, look up the definition for both. People don't like, you got Google now. People don't like to look up stuff no more. Look it up for yourself. Get your mind to thinking. It's the difference between arrogance and confidence. God been working on some people confidence since birth. And then somebody come along and say they got too much confidence. They too happy, or they too happy. God been working on their happiness since birth. And somebody don't like it, so they're gonna try to take it away from them. You don't think God gonna deal with them? God gonna deal with them. You just stay happy. You just stay confident. Your God-given confidence that he been working on you since birth. And the happiness. You know, there's a book, I think it's called, no, not the, I think Hector in His Pursuit of Happiness. I read the book. I love the book. I watched the movie. I think reading the book is better. So they should have it on where you can listen to the book. But yeah, I like that. All right, you guys. God bless.